Good morning, everyone, or whenever you're watching this, good afternoon, night, whatever time it is. Anyway, I was going through some Twitter posts and I've kind of ramped down my research and my YouTube videos and stuff. I've run out of energy. Tired of doing this, tired of waiting so long, and I don't know. I just flip through Twitter and kind of see what's going on now, and I don't know. Still watch some YouTube videos, but I saw this from IET 17, Inevitable ET. It's a pretty prominent QAnon decoder, digital soldier, whatever you want to call him, social media person that posts a lot of different things about QAnon posts and has 171,000 followers. A lot of people see his posts, his tweets, and he says here, interdasting, interesting. Go back to this first one here. Now this looks like something that would be on the chans or like QAnon.pub. Looks like something that Q would post, but there's no signature that says Q. There's no link to the page. No, nothing. So I don't know who wrote it, where it was posted, anything like that. But I can identify with this 100%. I'll just read it to you here. It says, "We are here with you. What is a targeted individual? An individual with potential. Do peoples around the world still practice the tradition? Do peoples, not people. Do peoples around the world still practice the tradition of keeping prayer vigil over newborns? Do they believe that the invisible enemy sends reconnaissance teams every night to make census of new souls? Do certain children then begin to have accidents, in quotes, snake bites, seizures, etc.? Yeah, accidents in quotes. Oh my God. The amount of, quote, accidents and bad luck in a targeted individual's life it's unbelievable if you haven't gone through it. You would think that somebody just has a good imagination or wants attention or makes excuses for not being able to succeed. But it's ridiculous the amount of accidents and, yeah, quote, accidents and traumatic events that occur in your life on certain days with specific timing. You get to a certain point in your life and just everything crashes down over and over and over and over again. It's statistically impossible for these events to be organic. So I like that they put accidents in quotes there. Are pure children and adults near the targeted child opportunistically possessed in order to torment and traumatize the child? When they say possessed, I don't know if they just mean paid off or if they actually mean possessed by some kind of entity or something like that. I don't know what the answer to this is, but when you're a targeted individual, it literally everybody that you come in contact with, almost everyone seems like they have some kind of nefarious objective towards you. And you get to the point where you just can't trust anybody. Traumatize the child, question mark. Yeah, it starts from the time you're a child. This goes back as far as I can remember. Mind warfare, kill confidence. Now, they're not saying they give you confidence in killing. They're saying they kill your confidence. Once you attempt something over and over and over and over in your life, and you get struck down over and over and over, you get to the point where you almost just don't care if you succeed anymore. You're basically being trained to be helpless. And people think of it as, oh, that person just doesn't have, they just don't follow through. They don't have the winning spirit, and that's not it. Try to go up against these people and try to succeed. See how impossible it is. It's the only way you can truly understand how terrible this is to go through. You can put all of your time, all of your energy, all of your thought, all of your passion, all of your love, everything into what you're trying to succeed, whether it's a business, whether it's your relationships, just certain goals you're working on. Everything is destroyed. Steal energy. That's one of the ways they do it, is you put your soul, your energy into everything you do, and when it's destroyed, you get broken down after a while. Destroy willpower. So people that may have a drinking problem or have tried to self-medicate with different drugs and stuff like that, because this torment and the trauma of all of this builds up over time. It's like radiation. Radiation builds up over time. It builds up, it builds up, builds up. It doesn't leave your body. It's kind of how the trauma builds up. And there isn't really a way to get it out unless you can go through some kind of counseling, some kind of healing, some kind of rest period where you can deprogram, desensitize. Did I use the right word? Where you can just heal. And a lot of people can't go through that because the trauma is so intense and so repetitive that it just destroys their willpower, and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to do something because this hurts so much, so often. I'm going to do something to get rid of that. Okay, then it says threat neutralized. I don't know what they're referring to, but I think what they could be referring to is, after all of this is done, the targeted individual ends up in prison, in a mental facility, on psychotropic or SSRI drugs, to get to a certain point where they're completely incapacitated and cannot function anymore. And then they become a ward of the state, or just a prisoner, zonked out on some kind of drug that puts a block between their neuroreceptors that fire the electric pulses, basically, that give you emotions that when you're happy, when you're depressed, when you're they put you on these SSRI drugs, and it just basically puts up a wall between those neuroreceptors, and you become a zombie, and you can't feel anything. You just become numb, and then you're no longer a person with potential. You've been neutralized. So maybe that's what that means. That's what it means to me. This right here says, do some peoples around the world, why do they say it that way? Do some peoples around the world? Maybe this person that wrote this, English isn't their first language, or there's a reason why they're writing this way. Anyway, do some peoples around the world still know how to decode the accidents as an indicator that the child could be, with training, pose a unique threat to the invisible enemy, and therefore invest in the spiritual protection and nurturing of that child? Do some people around the world still know how to decode the accidents as an indicator that the child could, with training, pose a unique threat to the invisible enemy, and therefore invest in the spiritual protection and nurturing of that child? Well, if anybody's helped me along the way, it's been tough to see. It seems like no matter who pretends like they're helping, they end up having an ulterior motive in the end, and either stealing from you or setting you up in some way, taking something from you. Why does the invisible enemy concentrate fire on certain individuals? When I did the interview with Larry Nichols, the guy that worked for the Clintons, he said they had something that was called "kill them while they're young," and it doesn't mean literally kill them while they're young, although that does happen to people. It means to start warfare against that person, basically in small increments that basically break them down as a person and keep them from becoming the person that they would be. And that's personally happened to me. It's been so many different things, whittling away, chipping away, one little thing after another that keeps you from becoming, like I said, who you have the potential to be. Because of what would happen to his plans, should those individuals learn how to pray in the Spirit. How many times has Q posted the armor of God verses? 10 plus confirmed. Aramaic to English direct, Ephesians 6:18. Pray passionately in the Spirit as you constantly intercede with every form of prayer at all times. Pray the blessings of God upon all his believers. Sounds like a weapon. And this is in a reverse kill box. So maybe a weapon against the dark side, the deep state, whatever you want to call them, the cabal, the Illuminati, whoever the people are that do this. Does music in certain frequencies amplify the possibility of phase locking? WT frequency Satan. I don't know what phase locking is. Does music in certain frequencies amplify the possibility of phase locking with frequency heaven? Okay, so they're saying some certain frequencies of music are basically satanic, evil. Some frequencies are heavenly, godly. What happens when you learn how to tune into the frequency heaven reliably? Squelch, chatter, boost, still, small voice. I'm not sure what they're saying there. You can decode that, figure it out. Maybe you already know what that means. And then this one, correlation between Q posts asking for a non-core prayer and Q posts in which operators active. What happens when waves of the same phase and frequency interact? What is prayer cover? Who can maneuver more effectively under prayer cover? Is the combined arms approach how the U.S. Marine Corps executes maneuver warfare? Is the combined arms approach how the U.S. Marine Corps executes maneuver warfare? What is a territorial spirit? Good Lord, I can't read right now. What is a territorial spirit? A thing of the past or active today? Could the combined arms approach allow corpore in reverse brackets, reverse kill box, and non-corpore elements of the army of God order of battle to achieve rapid, flexible, and opportunistic maneuvers, perhaps bring about a change in administration, flag-raising ceremony over a territory? You have more friends than you can imagine. Should Johnny T, a non-USAC, be combat proficient in praying in the Spirit? Rituals versus prayer meetings. Wizards versus reverse brackets. Wizards. Men who stare at goats versus men who pray in the Spirit. So that movie, Men Who Stare at Goats, was about Major Stubblebine. He headed up a psychic group in the army, and they would stare at goats and kill the goats with their mind. They would remote view and do a bunch of different stuff like that. So that movie is about an actual person. He was married to Dr. Kildee, Kilde. Major Stubble, I mean, General Stubblebine has passed away since. He was actually head of military intelligence, I want to say. I can't remember what group he was the head of, but basically he was one of the few military generals that spoke out about 9/11, called it a complete hoax or false flag, explained what really happened, explained that our air defense systems were all shut down that morning. Interesting guy to research, Major Stubblebine. And his wife, Dr. Kildee, I can't remember her first name, but she actually helps a friend of mine, ex-girlfriend actually, that lives across town with a lot of the targeted individual stuff that she goes through. Okay, so the last will be magical. Eyes in the sky. Learn to play the game. Play the game with us. This is not a game. I'm sorry, what? Huh? Okay, the last will be magical. Eyes in the sky. Learn to play the game. Play the game with us. See, a lot of us don't want to play a game. We've been living in the freaking Truman Show our entire life, and we just want to move on with our life. We don't want to learn to play human Pokemon. We just want organic events to happen in our life and be able to move forward. Some of us are worn out. Some of us have been going through this. You know, there's people that are 60, 70 years old that have been going through this since they were a child. And you're just worn out. I'm 45 years old. And I've had enough. You know, when these people try to psyop me into thinking I have cancer or that I'm going to die in some kind of accident or something like that, it doesn't even scare me anymore. I'm just like, well, won't have to go through this anymore. You just want it to be over with, and you don't really care how. This is kind of weird right here. Learn to play the game. Play the game with us. This is not a game. Okay. We are with you. Imagine if we weren't here. Reconcile. We are here with you. So the good guys in reverse brackets are here in brackets, like a kill box, here with you. All right, so if some of you want to decode that a little bit better, maybe leave a comment in the comment section. Please like and share this video. I'm going to go ahead and share it on Twitter now. Everybody have a good day. Thank you to whoever wrote this. I really hope that this means something, that the end is near in a good way, and that we have something to look forward to, something positive. All right, I'll talk to you all next time.